For by their fruits, you confirm what they know. All right? Now, let's look at a tale of two nations. I don't know. I sent them a video of this. I'm not sure we can play this morning. They can play it? Okay. A tale of two nations. God have mercy. You know, Pastor sent me the complete of this video, and I sat down to watch it. And this man was saying exactly what I said last week when I was talking about the tale of two nations. Next slide, please. Next slide. Sorry. He said, what makes a nation, what a nation makes is what does what? Is what makes the nation. What a nation makes is what makes the nation. What a nation makes is what makes the nation. And the guy was telling us the story of Taiwan and Ghana. About 25 years ago, Taiwan said all our people will be developed technologically by force, by fire. A country like Ghana said, you know what? As long as our people can speak English, they're okay. And guess what? 25 years later, can you just go back? Go back? No. Go forward. Forward. No. Please go back. Go back. Back. This one. 25 years later, the GDP of Taiwan is $42,000. Remember, last week I told you about which country? Can you remember the country I told you last week? Luxembourg. $140-something thousand. Taiwan and Ghana, 25 years ago, were both at $300 per person. Today, Taiwan is at 42,000. Ghana is at 30,000. You can see Kenya. You can see Tanzania. You see Taiwan. What a nation makes is what makes the nation. Now, look at the next one. It's not what a nation, because every time I talk about nation, for me, a nation is too far-fetched. Let's look at you now. What you make is what? So, what are you making? That's my question to you this morning. Every time you don't have, your GDP is low as a human being. Listen, just because you are in Nigeria doesn't mean your GDP has to be Nigeria's own. You can choose your own. So if your GDP is low, it means you are making what? Nothing. And if you are making nothing, it means there's a wisdom problem. Because every time you see wisdom, there's production. There's growth. What you make is what makes you. What you make is what makes you. The question is, what are you making? What are you making? What are you making? What are you making? And please, you know, sometimes my child left the church most of the time, which one of the reasons why, you see, I was a pastor for like 4 years on campus. You know, I graduated by my 200 level for my 5-year course. I became a pastor. So my course was 5 years, took me 7 years, sort of ASU strike. So I was pastor for like 5-6 years on campus. After I graduated, I said I will not do pastor work again. That's why I said I'm not going to ministry. You know why? Because talk is cheap. It's very easy to stand and talk. Very easy. That's why I don't believe in consultant. How can you say you are a sales consultant and you are not selling any product? You say you are a company management consultant and you are not managing any company. You are not a consultant. I want to see your own. What are you making that you can help me make my own? What are you making? What are you making? Please, you see, God doesn't bless air, or God bless what you make. What are you making? What are you making? How can you wake up in the morning on Monday and there's nothing you are making? And you prayed, God should be angry with you. What are you praying for? What are you wasting energy and time for? You wake up and start making something. You know, that's why, you remember my message, whatsoever. You know, this church in those days, find your purpose. Papa, forget purpose. Whatsoever you are fine to do. Go and do anything. Go and make something. Go and work in Mr. Biggs. Go and work in Tantalizer. Go and be doing something. A good tree equals a good product. Abi? Leadership by what? Product. Bad tree is bad product. For the tree is known by the product it produces. So the tree, because it's product, it means when you have no product, you are telling us you have no wisdom. That's what you are telling us. And you see, I don't deceive myself. A lot of people like to deceive themselves. They say it's in the pipeline. It's not anywhere. It's not anywhere. Next slide, please. So let me ask you, which one comes first, the tree or the product? Which one comes first? The tree or the product? And who is the tree? You. You know, there's something I learned, I think it was my 300 level or so, and that changed my life. I learned it from a man called Les Brown. He went to speak at TDJ's conference, Manpower Conference. And the only thing I took from that message, about 2-hour message, you can't miss it. Manpower Conference, I think it was year 2000, TDJ's Manpower Conference. Les Brown spoke from the depth of his heart. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. He said, that means no matter what you pray for, sir, you will not get it if you are not that thing. So a man is not rich because he has money. It's because he's rich that he has money. He must become rich first. The money attracts automatically to him because he has become rich. You know, there's some people that will just sit and say, I don't want money again. Yeah, they can't stop the money. Can an apple tree stop producing apple? No. When rain falls, everything is normal. What will an apple tree produce? Tree. When you become rich, you can't say no. Money will just be flowing. Because you yourself, you have become money. So you have to become the tree. And then what happens? Product. So you don't worry about the product. Worry about what? Worry about the tree. So the question is this. What tree are you becoming? Let's quickly look at dog and horses very fast. And then I'll show you how to change the tree very fast. Next slide. Study of dogs. Next slide. And I told us last week, this is not so clear, but these are dogs inside cages. Somewhere in Jos. How much do they sell these dogs? Next slide. Next slide. They sell these dogs 35,000 naira, 55,000. As low as how much? A dog. But guess what? There's another dog called service dog. Next slide. It's called service dogs. Next slide. This one costs how much? To how much? What determines their price? Although the amount will vary, it depends on what? Number 2, what? What is this? The type of training is the wisdom of the dog. The wiser the dog is, the more expensive the dog is. That means, go back for me. Go back. Go back. These dogs inside cages, what are they? Foolish dogs. No brain. Or there. If you say don't poo-poo there, it will poo-poo there. He's a useless dog. They call him bingo sometimes. You know bingo? 2K, 5K, 3K, you buy it. Next slide, next slide, next slide. Look at, because of what? Please note, most of the time when you see my slide like this, 95% of what's on it, I didn't write it. It's copy and paste from internet, from research. So don't think I'm not writing that the dog has training. No, copy and paste. Because of the extensive training and additional care they should receive, getting a trained service dog from a service care provider can be what? A daunting, stressful, and what? Expensive endeavor. Because of the extensive training. So my question is this. What do you have extensive training in as a human being that somebody will say, you know what? Let's pay you 10 million every month. I can't forget, in this church, some years ago, we had this guy who got a job in a consulting firm in Lagos, and they said his salary was 1 million. At that time, I was earning maybe 200,000. I was like, so they can pay somebody $1 million a month. $1 million a month. Do you know there are people that they pay 50 million a month? Based on what? Extensive training. That's wisdom. When you go through extensive training, you gather wisdom. And guess what? You don't have to go to any school to get the training. I've told you guys before. For instance, I read mechanical engineering from University of Ibadan. I'm yet to practice engineering for 1 hour in my life. Everything I've used to make money has nothing to do with what I studied in school. They were all trainings I had to take myself through, personally. For instance, there was a time I was head of marketing for a company. Now, what concerns engineering with marketing? But I have done extensive training for myself on marketing. So, you don't have to go to school, officially. There is too much content online for you not to get extensive training. Next slide, next slide. With the terrorists increasing, attacking so-called soft and all of that, now, the demand for detection dogs, which can what? Sweep large areas for explosive as well. So we have prices which can exceed how much? 25,000 for a dog that can smell. So you can see that the value of the dog is a function of the product of the dog. It's a product. Please, what product? And listen, when you say product, I was still in secondary school when I started producing Zobo. I used to bring it to my church and sell it. You don't have to be any. How can they say until you finish school before you start making money? No. No matter your level, start producing a product. Start producing what? A product. Next slide, because of time. Look at horses. Please, I don't have any time guide here, so I need to have it. So I know how many hours I have left. All right? How many hours? Horses, go to Gigi. I hope everybody knows Gigi. If you don't know Gigi, it's a crime. Punishable by 3 days in prison. Hello? So you come and kneel down here so that police will come and carry you now. Please, if you don't know Gigi, write it down. Gigi.ng. It's a website where you can buy a lot of stuff, It's not like Jumia and Konga. This one you can talk to the seller direct and you guys do business. Straight up. If you go to Gigi, an average horse costs how much? 900,000. 1 point something and, very cheap. Next slide. Fuasio, and whatever the name is, a Japanese billionaire, owns the most expensive horse in the world. He owns the what? $75 million. A true breed racehorse that has earned over $2 million through his career. This Pegasus has won more than 75 stakes globally. this man, Al Maktoum in Dubai, owns the next most expensive horse. Cost how much? $40 million. A horse. Please, if a horse can cost this much, how much are you worth? Next slide. Horses. Back. Horses are generally expensive. Few cost below 3,000. Now, with the majority cost at about 5,000 and above. However, the best one cost much more, typically up to $300,000. Waterloo, a breed, was the most expensive, but the asking price actually depends on what? The rarity and what? Training. Please, wisdom is not in the air, it's not in the spirit. Wisdom is on earth here. You engage it. And you increase your capacity and begin to produce at a different level. You know, without doing anything now, with AI and all these things, as a Nigerian, you can be doing $1,000 daily, $2,000 daily. How much is $1,000 daily now? About 1.5 million. Please, can you manage that every day, sir? As income? Every day, 1.5 million. Is it not manageable? And all of us have the capacity. And it's just to start. I'm not talking about, somebody earning $1,000 a day is not rich. He's a poor person. You are not rich. Next slide. All dogs are not what? All horses are not what? All humans are not what? Equal. They are not equal. And that now brings us to the concept of allotropes very fast. Now, if you sometimes when you come to my training, you will see that I'm able to take scripture, add it to science. Sometimes when I was doing training last week on trading, because that's my major, I trade the forex market. That's my major business. So I was doing training for some clients, and I kept quoting scriptures to back what I was saying in financial trading. And I was saying, Pastor. I said, no, Pastor, where? I'm just a student of the Bible. If you have not read a topic to the point, excuse me, where you can be seeing Bible inside that topic, you've not read it. Allotropes, you will see Bible here now. We learned this, I think it was in secondary school, in chemistry. Allotropes of carbon. An allotrope is a variant of a substance consisting of only one type of atom. It's a new molecular configuration of the same substance with new what? With new physical properties. Same substance, different outcome. Allotropes of a given substance will often have substantial differences between what? Each other. So it has the same what? But different what? Configuration. So it is the same, but not what? The same fruit. The same, but not the same. The most common allotrope you can find, next slide, is diamond and graphite. Next slide. This is diamond, I think, and this graphite. They both contain what? Carbon. Two of them. 100% what? Carbon. But when it comes to strength, graphite is the softest substance on the planet, whereas diamond is the strongest. The same, but not the same. Availability. Graphite is like sand everywhere. Diamond is very rare. Color. Diamond is white, glittering. Graphite is black. Cost. Diamond is very expensive. Graphite is free. That's why you can see in the same company, two human beings. One person is earning $1 million a day. One person is asking for minimum wage, 60,000 naira. The same, but not the same. What makes the difference? Next slide, please. What happened? Fix it in the middle, please. Graphite and diamond. Now, this, you see, like I told you, not me they write this thing. It's copy and paste online. Just Google it. The difference in molecular structure can be explained by the environment where the bonds form. Graphite forms near the earth's surface, where there is what? Low pressure. You see, it is pressure that makes people precious. Some of you don't like pressure. Pressure is good. A pressureless life is a useless life. How can you be living? There's no pressure. Even the Bible says, woe to them who are at ease in Zion. From the days of John the Baptist, kingdom of God suffered what? Violence. And the violent take it by force. The earlier you accept responsibility for your life and put yourself under pressure for production, the faster you become free. If not, you become like graphite, zero value. Zero value. How can you go for a job interview and they won't take you? How? That means you're a graphite. When you get there, they will be like, this, you are the one we have been waiting for. We have been waiting for you. Look at diamond. Back. Diamonds form where? Where? Deep. Where temperatures and pressure are what? Can you remember now the parable of the house? The man that built his house on soil, on sand, and when I built that dug deep. And the Bible says, call them wise and what? And today we are studying wisdom and we are reading graphite. Can you see the relationship now? Every time you don't pay the price for training, you are a graphite. You will never have value. There is no prayer you can pray, I tell you. The problem of Nigeria is that we want to substitute prayer for training. No. You can't pray for wisdom. You collect wisdom. You don't pray for it. Daniel said, I understood my books. Then I prayed. Not I'm saying, Lua, change Nigeria. It's you that will change Nigeria. God is not coming to you don't know. God has never changed any country. It's the people in the country that decide to change it. It's like the same thing in your life. God will not change. It's you that what? Change yourself from graphite to diamond if you want to have value. Next slide. So, either do what? Make the tree good and its fruit will be good. Or make the tree corrupt and the fruit will be corrupt. For a tree is known by the product. The tree is equal to its product. So if the tree is bad, how do we make it good? You know what this scripture tells me? It means every human being have capacity to change their product. Look at it, read it well. It said make a tree good. For God to say make, it means you can change. Hello? It means you can make it. You know what he told Joshua? He said, this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth. You shall do what? Meditate day and night. That you might observe to do, according to what is written therein. He said, then will you do what? Make. Then will you make yourself from graphite to diamond? It's you that will make it. God is resting. He doesn't make anything again. Hello? You see, the problem we have in Christianity is that sometimes they don't tell us the whole truth. They say, go home, go and prosper. You don't just go home and prosper. You go home and make. Then will you make your way? You will make it. You will make it prosperous, and you will have good success. You have to make it. You will make it. It's you that will make it. Nobody can make it for you. He said, it shall be like a tree planted by what? Rivers of water that brings forth his fruit in his own season. And he said, whatsoever he does shall what? Prosper. It becomes like diamond. So if a tree is bad, how do we make it good? Who can help us now? Can we? I just want to be sure you are following me. Can I get a mic? Please. If a tree is bad, how do we make it good? Who can help us? Please. If a tree is bad, how do we make it good?
By getting trained. Training.
By getting what? Training. Are you sure? Please, I have another answer, sir. That answer is not sufficient yet. You uproot. You uproot and replant. Wait, if you uproot a tree and replant it, does it make the product to change? What, ma? But did he say the soil is the problem? Did he say change the soil? He said make the tree good. No matter the soil is in, and its product will be what? Will be good. Did he say water it? Make the tree good. And its product will be good. Everything you are saying doesn't change the product. Watering it doesn't change the product. If it's an apple tree, you water it, it's still an apple tree. If it's a guava tree, you water it, it's still a guava tree. If I put a guava tree and I plant it back, it's still a guava tree. Sir? Grafting. Did you hear that? Who knows about grafting here? We use it in agriculture, where you can graft a different species of the same. You know, do you know that even Christianity, Bible says we are grafted? Because we couldn't be part of that tree. But that is another dimension. It's another dimension. It's a deeper dimension. How do we make this true? I'm still waiting for answers, please. Everybody should have an answer. Somebody said training. What did you say, sir? Package. Repackaging of the food. So if you used to wear shirt, you start wearing suits. Then the tree will change. Help me, please. You know, there's a saying I like. Whatever is fake will fade. Hello? Whatever is what? If it's fake, it will what? I've seen people come for interview with the best suit, but nothing is here. You cannot fake it. It's not the packaging doesn't change the product inside. Hello, sir. So you can't repackage it. If I carry graphite now, I change the body by packaging to diamond. Will you sell it as diamond? You can sell it, but when they catch you, say, 419, boy, that you sold us diamond, fake diamond, because it's graphite you saw inside. Somebody else is asking, yes, let me give mommy there.
Pruning the tree.
Huh?
Pruning the tree.
Pruning the tree. Oh, wow. Pruning it. Please, when you prune a tree, you know what it means to prune a tree? Is it pruning and weeding? Is it the same? I think pruning is removing. Does it change the product? I don't think it changes the product. Now, listen to me. Listen to me. Your thinking must be deeper than a tree. Because remember clearly that even though human beings are the tree, we have the capacity to change. Even a tree cannot change. A guava will always be what? You can't change it to mango. But a human being who is a guava can change to mango. I don't know you're getting me. So you have to think deeper. Now, let me even ask first, before we talk about how to change again. What part of the man changes? The what? The mind. When we say mind, for me, it's too English. Have you seen your mind before, sir? I was asking my staffs one day, I said, in church, say, talk to your spirit. I said, have you seen your spirit before? I said, who can show me your spirit? It's all English. Hello? The word spirit is what? Oyimboni. When iron talks to iron, can you show me your spirit? Oh, guys, you are very spiritual. Come and show us your spirit. So when you say mind too is like spirit. Are you getting me now? So when we say, where is the place of change? Mindset. Action after is a byproduct of the change. The brain. The heart. Heart and brain, are they the same? You see, let me tell you why I'm doing this. There's a lot of English in the air. Brain, heart, spirit, which they throw a lot in church. But it really has no meaning. That's why when you get home, you don't know what to do. Because which one is my mind? Which one is my... Come on, let me give my consultant here. Your what? Where is the place of thinking?
Knowledge.
The brain. Is it, sir? It's in the Bible. Self. What do you mean self? What is your self? Wait. There's the scripture I said, there's a time the Bible said the prodigal son came to who? He came to himself. And another scripture said he came to his senses. I mean, but mommy was saying yourself. I'm like, yourself, I don't. Can you meet yourself? Can you meet yourself, ma? You and yourself, are they different? Wait, Bible said the prodigal son came to himself. That means they are like two people. He came to who? Realization. Now listen, what I'm doing this morning is to help us to begin to think deeper about the place of change. Where is the seat of change? Where is the seed? Where is that seed that actually changes? And then the product begin to what? Change. Where? Is it a spiritual process or a physical process? Mental. If it's not mental, they will talk about fish, beast. But if you go back to, let's go to Joshua 11. Joshua 1:8. Joshua 1:8. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide. Wisdom was talking here. He said, the Lord possessed me in the beginning of his days, before his works of old. The Lord did what? Possessed me. That's wisdom. Joshua 11. Can you go on the screen very fast? Joshua 11. Joshua 11. I want to show you. You see, life is simple. I tell you. Just that sometimes people complicate it. Life is what? Simple. Life is not as difficult. When you say, it's the truth. Some of us, what you are looking for is in your front, but you keep running around looking for it. Joshua 1:8. We all know it now, but I want us to read it. No, go back to KJV. You know, some of this version. Like Pastor said last week, I didn't read it in that version. I read it in that version. That was a listen. If you Google it, you can find it. He said, my son, eat thou honey, for it is good. He said, and the honeycomb, which is sweet to thy taste. He said, so shall the knowledge of wisdom be to you when you have found it. He didn't say read. He said, do what? Eat thou honey, eat. You see, reading and eating are two different things. How do you eat? Look at it here. The book of the law should not do what? But you shall do what? Now, this word meditate is English. Think about it. When you say meditate, it means to do what? Think about it day and what? That means if you want to change, you have to get the change you want in knowledge form and begin to think about it day and night. You go deep like diamond and begin to go through a lot of pressure to change. That you do what? It is when you have meditated on body at night that you'll be able to do what? Observe to do what? To do. To do. All that it is in. Look at what the Bible says now. Then shall you do what? Shall you do what? Make your what? Your way here means make everything that you do to do what? To prosper. It's automatic. You don't pray for prosperity. You don't pray for money. Immediately you get the revelation I'm talking about now. It's like, you see, that word is like, I don't use the word revelation, but revelation is too complex. Because sometimes it also becomes a spiritual jargon. Revelation. But something happens to you after meditating on something for a while, that you become what they call fully persuaded. Fully persuaded. You say, Oyedepo said something when he was studying prosperity. He said, I announced to all the devils in there, I can never be poor. The problem people have is this. Sometimes they like to follow men of God, but I don't like to follow them. I like to follow what they do, not what they preach. You know what Oyedepo said? One time, because I listened to the man a lot when I was in school. It was, my mentor when I was in school. I ate it day and night. He said, I pray very little on important matters. He said, but I think a lot. I pray what? Very little on important matters. But I think a lot. Do you know why he's one of the most successful men of God? No. For me, I don't know any human being again that is as red as him. The man is too red. They want to start University of Agriculture. He took his team to Israel, the global capital of agriculture, to go and learn agriculture. Because you want to start a university. Because you yourself must become the success you want to create. Then, will you make your way prosperous? And you do what? You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. See, when you settle down to read scripture very well, your prayer changes. Sometimes when they call some prayer, I'm like, this is a stupid prayer. Because me, I've seen the answer in the Bible, so this is stupid. Father, as we are going to Lagos, keep us safe. What do you mean by that? The reason why you need that prayer, let me tell you why. Is because of the situation of Nigeria. Why? If you go to London now, and you are waiting for a train from London to Manchester, and the train is coming at 9, you don't need prayer, it will come at 9. It's your lack of knowledge that makes you pray stupid prayer. Father, this train come at 9. What the program is? Google self, no. To what Google? I'm going to Manchester. It will tell you the time to leave where you are, to arrive the next train station, to arrive next train station, and pick the train to take you to the train station that will take you to Manchester. Programmed. So it's our stupidity as a nation that makes the road unsafe. So if you can take care of all the problem, you don't need to pray to. You are going to Lagos. Sometimes they say, when I'm coming from Ibadan, so they say safe journey. I don't understand that language. I'm not on a journey. Lagos to Ibadan is travel within New York. Hello? In New York, you can drive 3 hours. And because you are inside New York, you are not on a journey. Why do you think Lagos Ibadan is a journey? Everything is here. I'm not on a journey. I'm just driving down from here. There is not a journey. But I had a mother-in-law, one of my aunts. In those days, if she's going to Lagos, she will fast and pray for 3 days. Oluwa, everything is where? If you spend time to meditate day and night, like Daniel, you will know what to pray. You will know how to deal with God. You have a global perspective on how things work. And gradually, you will see, you begin to move from what? Graphite to where? To diamond. Graphite to diamond. Simple wisdom. Is my time up? It's up. I thought we still have like 1 hour. Is somebody here this morning who wants to move from diamond to graphite here? Listen to me. What I'm telling you is something I've done in my life. I tell you. It's what I installed into my life. When I was in university, day and night. I used to have earphones. Constantly, I'm listening to message. Sometimes when I enter my fellowship for camp, I say, you know what? I just came from Dallas this morning. Where is Dallas? TDJ's church. It's in Dallas. I don't need to go physically. How did I go? I was listening to their message. Meditate on it day and night. Listen, there is no shortcut. Whatever jumps up will come down. It's only what grows up that stays up. Hello? Whatever does what? Jumps up, comes down. The only thing that stays up is what grows up. So you have to grow yourself. It's capacity, it's value. You don't need to open your mind. Listen, do you know you don't need to open your mouth? When you appear, great things happen around you. I tell you. Just your presence alone, great things are happening. Your presence. Why? Because you are carrying something. It's called Ajesara. Hello? Ajesara. You don't know. Who can convert that to English for me? Ajesara. Listen. God told Elijah, he said, sit down, eat. And Bible says, he went in the value of that meat 40 days. Ajesara. When you eat this thing I'm talking about, it becomes part and parcel of you. It becomes part of your flesh and your blood. So when you appear, light appears because you are light. Negatives disappear everywhere you are. Father, help us this morning. Help us this morning. David said, because the Lord God will help me, therefore I will not be confounded. Listen, I was not studying the word to preach. No. I was studying to eat for myself. Because you know why? I don't have any help. My parents don't know anybody. They don't have anybody. They are not rich. I don't have anybody. And I saw this is the only path to get there. I followed 100%. And I can tell you today, I might not be super rich, but I'm not doing badly, sir. I tell you. I'm not doing badly. At all. If you have me as a son, you'll be proud. I tell you. And you can't point to one human being that will make Mike or you make Kule. No. How? How? Even me, when you want to make me, I run away. Like Abraham. So that you will not say you made me rich. It's from zero. From zero. So what I'm telling you today, it works 100%. If you can block your mind Settle with God, I tell you. Not just praying, but sitting with what? Meditating on it. You will notice there's no prayer in this equation. Can you see prayer there? Sorry, please. Did you see prayer there? That after you meditate, you then pray all night. Did you see there? Did you see there? This is a formula. There's no prayer there. If you can engage this, you will see change. I tell you. Father, thank you for your word that's come this morning. Help us to be wise to go and do, Lord. In Jesus' precious name. Hallelujah. Somebody bless this morning. Put your hands together for Jesus is worthy.
Let's appreciate
Amen.
Let's appreciate quickly. I want us to show the video he wanted to show, and then I want one more video. But while they get ready, if they can get it up. This has been in my heart for the last few days. It's found in James chapter 1, verse 23 to 25. It says, "For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he's like a man observing his natural face in a mirror. But he observes himself, he goes away and immediately forgets what kind of a man he was." It says, "But he who looks into the perfect law of liberty and continues in it is not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work. This is the one who will be blessed." Are you guys going to be able to play the video? If you can't, let me know. That's what we do in this church. No, sermons are meant to bring you to a place of decision. Not to decide for you. Has anybody made up their minds this morning, and has it changed your prayer point? Has it changed your prayer point? Can you bring out your tithes and offering while we watch this video? Listen, we're living in very dangerous times right now. The cheapest and easiest way to make it is to obey the word. You don't give because you have. You give because God asks you to have faith in him. So while this is going on, just listen to this man. I don't know where it ends. I know I've watched it, but it's 4 minutes actually, 4.5.
So the first thing you must understand is
Volume, please.
Democracy must ensure equity for the people. Two nations, and I'll tell you a short story. Between 1960 and 1968, two countries made two different decisions that changed the course of their lives. One country is very close to us here. It's called Ghana. They like to think that their jollof rice is better than ours, but we always disagree. But another country is a very small island, very close to China, that China doesn't want to let go of, but they've become very important to the world. It's called Taiwan. Ghana and Taiwan made two different decisions at two different times. Ghana made a decision to make formal education, your ability to speak Queen's English, as you want it to be, made it compulsory for all, and in some cases free. Taiwan said, we don't care much about Queen's English. Speak basic English, or no English at all. However, set up a policy for technological and vocational training. Made that compulsory for all Taiwanese. Ladies and gentlemen, a few years later, even though both of them started at about $300 in 1968 GDP per capita, by the time you get to 2020, this is what Taiwan's export basket looks like. Inside that export basket, compared to Ghana, is a blue area that you can see there that represents 42% of what they now export to the world, that is called semiconductors. Semiconductors today is now powering everything you can think of today, from the phone I'm holding, semiconductor, clicker, semiconductor, microphone, semiconductor, these screens you're looking at, semiconductors everywhere. Taiwan has become, the world depends on Taiwan. If Taiwan runs into production issue of semiconductors, nothing electrical comes out by a policy of government. And by the way, Taiwan is not a democracy. And they're able to do that. Let me tell you what this has led to. It's what I call the great divergence. Look at Taiwan's GDP per capita today. Has grown 165 times to $48,000 GDP per capita, which is a measure of how much each person is won. It's different from GDP. What you saw here was GDP per capita that are distributed. The bulk was GDP. Now, Ghana is less than 3,000. Grew 10,000 in almost 50 years. 10 times in almost 50 years. Are we getting it? Let me now make a statement here that perhaps out of everything I said today is something that I want everybody to take home. What a nation makes is what makes a nation. Let me repeat myself. What a nation makes is what makes a nation. No matter how we hail Nigeria, what a nation makes is what makes a nation. So, what China makes, what Indonesia makes, what the US makes, you can see the export basket. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what Nigeria makes. What Nigeria makes is sitting in that place, 70% or almost if you add gas to it, it comes to about 85% of what we make is oil in its crudest form. No skill, nothing applied to it. And by the way, a portion of it being stolen. Let me just pause here and just say, by the way, normal people cannot steal oil. I hope you know that. Unless if you have the capacity to steal crude in this way, can I see your hand? There is a level of sophistication that is required to steal crude. From vessels to security to pipeline, it's sophisticated. So therefore, the people that are stealing crude are not in this room. I can almost guarantee. Unless you are. So, so therefore, we are one main product. And this product, we cannot protect it. Think about it. Maybe because my background is in business.
You put up the other video, I'll tell you when to play it. You know, because of my background and because of my exposure and because of the way I was trained by my parents, I have a very, let me use the word European upbringing. And so because of that, I'm attracted to things that are done in a British, American, or European way. But one of the biggest lessons I've learned in Nigeria is you're not going to succeed trying to be European in Nigeria. A few months ago, one of the leading ministers in this country brought some of the most famous American singers to his meeting in Abuja. There were fantastic people like Don Moyen, Ron Connolly. As a matter of fact, Ron Connolly was one of the smartest because he started singing local songs. Everybody was just watching the Americans sing. And they were clapping after they finished singing. The minute Nathaniel Bassey picked up his microphone, the whole hall exploded. Because have you noticed that when we sing in our language or we sing with our accent, we are happier people? Am I making sense? We're not meant to be making products for the US. We're meant to be making products for who? Nigerians. Now, this gentleman spoke about products. All we do is oil. Nobody is bothered. Have we changed our prayer point that Nigeria should become productive? Is that included in our prayer point? I want to show you something. This is Lady Gaga. I'm sorry. I'm one of those pastors that can show funny people in church. I'm going to show you Lady Gaga sing her Oscar-winning song at the Oscars. All right? With her partner, who's the guy who produced and directed the movie. But please, don't focus on Lady Gaga. I want you to focus on the tech people who are about to set up. Am I making sense? Are you here? Just watch them. I'm going to stand here while they do it and walk you through. Play now. Just watch them. It's time for Lady Gaga to come upstairs. Look at the tech people. The curtain goes up. They go in with a piano. They set up a microphone. They walk away. Watch Lady Gaga come up stage. mic 1, 2, 3. Do you see it? Nobody has done any testing mic 1. Watch now.
Tell me something, girl.
He starts to sing. No mistake.
Are you happy in this
No,
modern
where's my
world?
sound? This is too low. This is whatever. Do you notice anything about it? Are you here? Now, please, you can pause it so that they won't say that we've gone canal in church. Although it's a beautiful song to listen to. It's absolutely worth listening to. Okay, come on, we can pause it. We keep shouting from this podium, Kunle, that we need to develop skills. Our own media, our own ushers, our own choir members don't do anything about it. They hear it Sunday after 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 Sunday. Nothing changes. If you don't believe me, watch American Idol. A guy is voted. They say, oh, you didn't make it to top 10. You're going to have to sing for your... The guy will bring out a microphone. They will set it on the stage. In 2 minutes, the guy is singing. No testing mic. Do they have two heads? What makes them able to do that is training, expertise, masters of their own skills. You know what Solomon said to the Chaldeans? He said to the king of Chaldeans, he said, please send me your Chaldeans. I will pay you whatever they ask for, because there is no race on this earth that cuts trees the way Chaldeans do it. Skills. Doesn't bother us. Do you hear any echo? Have you ever watched on an Oscar screen where I can't hear, the sound is not working? How do you think it happens? You hear this sermon. Somebody just spoke to you about wisdom, about meditating in the word. Man, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to do anything. Nothing is going to change. I think it's Einstein that says he's a fool who keeps doing the same thing and expects a different result. They're broke. You don't tithe. You don't obey the laws of giving. They tell you to do it. Come up with an excuse or listen to some story on social media about something being in the Old Testament. That's fine. Sometimes people come to advise me in church. Experts who have pastored churches like me, who have built what I've built. And when they finish, I'll look at them and say, when you have to earn the right to speak to me by your accomplishment. You have to earn the right to speak to me. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. You can give me your advice, but I'm not going to listen to you because you're not qualified. One day we were sitting here and there was a fire. And my people came in and used the fire extinguishers, put it out. There was smoke all over the place. And it was a marriage here. And I told the couple, I apologize. Go to the garden hall, do your engagement there. We'll fix this before your wedding tomorrow. We'll give you a refund. The father said, no, it wasn't your fault. One woman got up, yes, that's why we told you to go to Jogo. Look, Jogo is better than this person. So I called the woman and said, madam, I know Jogo is better, but let me tell you something. This is my own. Where's your own? Where's your own? Show me your own, then you can talk to me. You and I are not. If Jogo talks to me and says, you don't know what you're doing, I will say, Oga, Motigbo, come, teach me. But you? You see, I was listening to Fashola in this same program. You know what he said? He said, when there is a mistake in a football team, have you noticed that it's the coaches that are fired? You know what? Pastor Isaac, we're going to fire people. I don't mind if the media team shuts down and we don't broadcast anymore. I'm going to start firing people. And I would announce it publicly. You are no more in charge of this. Go. We will do without it. Because I'm fed up of the fact that nobody wants to take responsibility for anything. Nobody. They came in at 7:45 and I said, how are you going to be ready before 8? This man walked out, prepared slides, hours. Sometimes, ask Pastor Isaac, some of my slides are 300 slides. You try it. Now you come, you prepare a video, you've done your homework, you give it to people, and people who came 10 minutes before the program, they can't broadcast it. How would you feel? Or the microphone is not working. Or some usher didn't show up at work.